I just found out that the girl I've secretly liked for so long is in love with someone else. And I never could have imagined who it was. It's not her boyfriend, and it's not some stranger either. It's someone who leaves me not knowing whether I should be sad, angry, or just laugh at the whole situation. How the hell could I think about something for so long and still come up with nothing? Then one beautiful day, I walked past my little sister's room. The first thing I saw was two guys kissing on a piece of paper. Do you know what went through my mind at that exact moment? What the hell is this? Who bought this? Why does my little sister have an entire shelf full of this stuff? So I screamed, "You're screwed! I'm telling Mom!" And my little sister looked at me with the most challenging expression imaginable. Like, "Go ahead, tell her. They're Lisa's, huh?" Which Lisa? Not the Lisa who sits at the very end of row number 3 from the top in class B, right? So I spent 2 hours testing my little sister, and I finally discovered the truth. Turns out, that was actually her crush, guys. I'd been trying to win this girl over for 3 years, and she still wouldn't fall for me. Then everything suddenly became incredibly bizarre when my little sister told me, "If you want to win Lisa over, you have to read BoyLove." Honestly, when I first heard that, I was about to turn into Decau and beat the crap out of her. But after thinking about it, she kinda had a point. And that's how we ended up with today's video. A grown-ass son of a mother coming home and grinding BoyLove. If this video smells extremely gay to you guys, I'm sorry. I'm innocent. The culprit is my little sister. But let me make one thing clear. I'm not some hardcore fan of this genre. I'm just a nosy, curious guy who loves sharing 7,749 random things with the world. I go to school and work from morning until night, and I'm already half dead. So if you guys know anything I got wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments. Alright, let's get into it. I asked my little sister about it, and here's how she explained things. Burl is a general term for works featuring romantic relationships between men. Yaoi, on the other hand, is a different story. Back in Japan, yaoi was originally a term used for short fan-made comics, usually drawn by fans and often pairing male characters from famous series together. But later, people started using the term to refer to works with, let's say, spicier content. Yeah, I'll let you guys use your imagination from here. Otherwise, YouTube might give this channel a one-way ticket off the planet. And when it comes to Chinese dramas, you already know how it is. The scenes female viewers are actually waiting for never get shown. So nowadays, all we get to enjoy is brotherly love, comradeship, and those painfully intense, emotionally devastating looks between characters like Wei Wuxian and Lisa Wangji. But my stupid little sister, she set her favorite couple as her wallpaper. She saved up money to order entire Balo collections from overseas. And then she screamed like a maniac when two guys looked at each other for 3 seconds. Wait a second, I just noticed something. Why does the corner of this thing say, "From big sister to her little darling"? W. This crazy girl is someone's little baby now? So I asked, "Are you dating her? And do you know what happened next?" She looked at me like I was some prehistoric creature and said, "Yeah. Why are you only finding out now?" Oh, so you knew everything. I'm literally the only mechanical here. But if the story ended there wouldn't be much to talk about. I remember it was Friday the 13th. I was taking a dump while scrolling through stories. And when I scrolled past my crush's story, I saw my little sister, guys. But here's the problem. Those two were wearing matching shirts, matching bracelets, and going to the movies together. And the movie they were watching? BoyLove. Wait, what the hell? Since when did Earth turn into a square? Or did I reincarnate into an ice sky and somehow end up on the 8th level of hell? I hadn't even had time to process the heartbreak of my crush not liking me. And now I had to suffer because my crush apparently liked hanging out with my little sister more than me. And do you know what hurt the most? Those two were using my Netflix account, stealing my 4G, using my money to buy BoyLove manga. And I was basically just a walking atom. Is this some kind of conspiracy? But screw it. Let's forget about the conspiracy for now. Back to the main topic. The first series that my terrifying little sister recommended to me was Given. It's about a handsome guitarist who has lost his passion for music. Then one beautiful day, this guy meets a kid with such an amazing singing voice that it manages to move every fangirl. And me. Okay. I mean artistically, guys. Don't get the wrong idea. At first, I thought this was a story about a band. You know, a bunch of guys forming a band and going off to conquer the world. But nope. Music is only one part of it. The characters are actually pretty human and feel surprisingly close to real everyday life. Mafuyu is quiet and constantly carrying emotional baggage. Unoyama is clumsy and hot-headed. Then there are Akihiko, Haruki, and Yujetsu. Those three have a relationship that's somehow even more complicated than the main couple. And the thing worth mentioning is the romantic tension between those guys. Do you know what Japanese guys' love is like? Out loud. It's all, we're like brothers, we're good friends, we're soulmates. But the second these guys stand next to each other, the chemistry explodes everywhere. Yeah, exactly what you're imagining. Oh, and I have to admit one thing. The artwork in this series is really beautiful. You can clearly see the author's art improving as the story goes on. It's so good that I finally understand why my little sister stays up until 2 a.m. just to watch two handsome guys stare at each other for another 3 seconds. Alright, next up, Sasaki and Mayano. This one is a wholesome high school story. It follows a hardcore loving guy with a face so pretty he could pass for a girl. And then there's Sasaki, a cool-looking blonde guy. And when this guy meets Miyano, he suddenly turns into super glue and becomes completely attached to him. Guess what happens next? This dude borrows manga, texts him, finds every possible excuse to interact with him. And eventually, the two of them slowly fall for each other. This is basically me and my crush in real life, except they're the main characters, and I'm the spare tire. Also, from beginning to end, this series is pretty wholesome. No fighting, no amnesia, no I'll find you again after 10 years. Basically, this series is made entirely of sugar. If you get diabetes after reading it, don't blame me. I'm innocent. It's all my little sister's fault. Third up, twittering birds never fly. I'm pretty sure every Bull fan already knows this one. When I first heard the title, I thought it was a documentary about environmental protection. But after turning a few pages, maybe I was just too innocent, guys. The main character is Yashiro, a handsome, deeply traumatized Yakuza guy with some serious self-destructive tendencies. Then he meets Dumiki, a quiet and loyal bodyguard. Just hearing that setup already tells you there's going to be drama. Oh, and by the way, this is not your typical romance story. This is the kind of story that makes people who aren't depressed become depressed. The character development feels more like a psychological crime drama. But I have to admit, the artwork is insanely good. That said, honestly, this is not for beginners. The pacing is slow. The content gets pretty heavy. And there are also quite a few, scenes between the two guys. So if you're under 18, please keep your hands to yourself. By the time we got there, my little sister and my crush were sitting together crying like their ex had just gotten married. Meanwhile, I had to run downstairs to buy more tissues. I don't know if they were crying because the story was so emotional or because they had found themselves a free sponsor. After spending days researching BoyLove using the knowledge of a former chemistry specialized student, I finally made a decision. I can't live in a world where I'm the only NPC. I have to confess. That's what I told my little sister that morning. And my little sister was basically, good luck. Whoever loses becomes the bitch. I still remember that day perfectly. Blue sky, white clouds, golden sunlight. My crush had just pulled her bike out of the parking area, so I blocked her path. Hey, stop! My crush snapped. You wanna fight? At first, I'd imagined all kinds of scenarios, confessing publicly, giving her flowers, all that romantic stuff. But I know this girl. If I confessed publicly, I'd successfully turn myself into her personal punching bag for the next 2 years of school. But life isn't anime. Life is somehow even more messed up than anime. I took a deep breath. I like you. My crush went silent. 3 seconds later, she laughed like she'd just won the lottery. What? You think you're Xi'an from Everyone Loves Me? She looked at me apologetically. I'm sorry. I already like someone else. Do you know what went through my head at that moment? A flash of light shot through my brain and the entire world collapsed. Holy shit. That actually hurt. You know who it is? I was like, who? Who the hell stole her from me? Who? But my crush didn't say anything. She just got on her bike and rode away. You think the story ended there? Not even close. Recently, my crush started posting more stories. Then she started writing those stupid longing for someone captions. She also started coming over to my house more often, but she never talked to me. Instead, she started buying full-topping milk tea for my little sister. She even started helping her study. At that point, I thought, maybe if they spend enough time together, they'll eventually fall for each other. Who knows? Then one beautiful day, I saw her drawing someone in her notebook. Okay, I'm sorry. Telling this story makes me sound like a freaking thief. But I secretly flipped through the notebook and, surprise! The person she had drawn was my little sister. My brain went, boom! Wait a minute. I think I just discovered something huge. My brain started connecting all 7,749 events from before. The matching outfits, the movie dates, everything. And I finally came to one horrifying conclusion. My crush likes my little sister. And what's even more shocking, my little sister still had absolutely no idea. She was just enjoying all the attention from her brother's friend, like it was the most normal thing in the world. Every time my crush showed up, I'd keep glancing back and forth like, there's another girl who likes you, you idiot, me! A guy who had been heartbroken for less than a month had to continue playing the mechanical in someone else's love story. I kept working while thinking about it. Maybe this was the 81st trial Tang Sanzang had to go through. But after reading 1001 boy love stories, I suddenly found myself motivated to read another 1001 pages. At first, I was like, what's so interesting about two gay guys falling in love? But somehow, just a few days later, I was sitting there watching manga reviews, watching tons of OTP videos on TikTok, and even wandering into fan groups asking people, has this series ended yet? But whatever. I'll worry about that later. Right now, I'm going to bed. As for love, screw it. Let it go wherever the hell it wants. By the way, if any of you guys have tips on how to pick up girls, please help me out. I have a new crush. But somehow, this girl is also into boy love. What the hell is going on? My little sister saw that and was basically like, oh my god, my brother moves on fast. Move on my ass. I'm investing in my future. Right now, I've ordered 10 boy love books from Japan to give to my second ever crush. But seriously, when you think about it, I did learn one thing. You really can't predict what life is going to throw at you. I liked someone. Then she liked my little sister. My little sister is dumb as a cow and still thinks someone openly pursuing her is just being a good friend. And me? I went from being a guy who didn't even know what boy love was to someone who sees two handsome guys standing next to each other and immediately starts getting invested. By the way, if I successfully confess to my second crush, thank boy love. If I fail, it's still boy love's fault. Just kidding. But seriously, I really hope I succeed and finally get myself a pretty girlfriend. Guys, if you guys enjoyed the stories of a nosy idiot like me, don't forget to subscribe and follow the channel. Who knows, maybe one beautiful day I'll run out of ideas again and accidentally discover something even weirder. Alright, I'm going back to reading Boy Love now. Goodbye, everyone.